Each week I answer a question from people, they write them in. Here's today's question. Hi Monique, I'm a bit ashamed to even ask this. On paper, my life is good. I've got work I chose, people I love, a list of things I actually want to do, but I sit down at my desk and I can't begin. I'm not tired exactly, I'm not depressed exactly, I just can't move. I've started calling myself lazy because I don't know what else to call it. But it doesn't feel like laziness from the inside. It feels like I'm pinned to the chair. What is this and how do I get out of it? Wow. I want to start by saying, Annie, who wrote this from Oxford, thank you so much for sending this question. Because what you're describing is one of the most common things I hear from people. And almost nobody has got language for it. So if you ever sat down at your desk, got a list of things you wanted to do, things you chose, things you actually want to do, and you found you can't begin, this video is for you. And I'm going to tell you straight away, it's not laziness, okay? It's something else entirely. And once you can see it clearly, you can start to work with it. So what you're describing actually has a name. It's called functional freeze. And it's been on my mind a lot lately because I've been hearing it more and more from students that I work with. And yes, I've been there myself. So here's what's happening. You know, fight or flight, okay? Most people do. When your nervous system, it perceives a threat, it gets you out of there, or it gets ready to fight, okay? But there are two other responses that don't get talked about nearly as much. One is fawn, that's the one where you appease to stay safe, and one is freeze. So freeze is what your body does when fight and flight are not options. So when something's been going on too long, where there's nowhere to run, when whatever it is that you're carrying is too big to push through, your nervous system makes a calculation. It dials you down. It conserves. It pulls you out of the fight by quietly switching off your ability to engage. So from the outside, that looks exactly like laziness. From the inside, feels like you're pinned to the chair, which is the phrase you used, and I want to honor that because that's exactly what freeze feels like. It's not motivation that's missing. It's not willpower. Your body has put you in protection mode and your brain's following along. I want to tell you about a stretch of my own life where this happened. A few years ago, I was in the middle of a big project and everything was going really well on paper. I'd worked hard. I was really doing stuff that I was loving. I had people around me that I loved. I had every reason to be moving forward. And one day I sat down at my desk, I opened my laptop and I could not begin. Couldn't open a document. I couldn't write an email. Couldn't read the first line of anything. And I sat there for 2 hours. And I was so confused because I'm not a lazy person. So didn't know what was wrong with me. I was just trying to tell myself, like, get up and get started. But you see, the more I pushed, the worse it got. Because here's the part that nobody tells you. The harder you push against freeze, the deeper you go into it. So your body's already decided you're not safe. And when you yell at yourself, I promise you, you confirm that. So what pulled me out of it wasn't pushing harder. It was the opposite. It was someone, a friend who knew me well, saying, I wonder what's going on with you, you know? It was actually tied to the grief around a close friend of mine dying. And she said, I think you're frozen. Stop trying to start. Just sit with it. And I want to be honest with you and say that sounded like the worst possible advice at the time. Because in our culture, the answer is to, do. That's what we do. We're really good at doing. The answer to being stuck is always to push. And I'd been pushing for a long time. But I tried it. I closed my laptop. I made a cup of tea. I sat by my window. I didn't try to be productive about it. I didn't even try to relax because relaxing can be its own kind of pressure. I just sat. And for the first time in months, my body started to come back online. So here's what I want you to know about what you're going through. You're not lazy. The word laziness implies a choice. What you're describing and isn't a choice. It's a state. And it's your body trying to keep you safe from something that's been wearing it down for a long time, even if you don't know what that something is. And second, and here's the part nobody talks about, the harder you push, the more stuck you get. So every time, maybe you call yourself lazy, or every time you make a new plan, or Every time you try and force your way out, you're telling your nervous system, this is still not safe. So it stays dialed down. And third, ironically, the way out is paradoxical. Paradoxical. It's not more force, it's less. It's sitting with the freeze without making it mean something terrible about you. So it's letting your body know gently, slowly, that you're safe enough to come back online. What does that actually look like? Well, it's small, so small, you'll think it can't possibly be the answer. But it looks like 5 minutes of doing absolutely nothing. And I mean nothing. No phone, no music, just sitting. Watching the light come through the window, or watching your coffee cool, or letting your body remember what stillness feels like that's not forced. It looks like one tiny thing. Not the big project, not the inbox. One small thing that has no stakes. Wash one dish, walk to the corner, open your curtains. Anything that signals to your body, I can do something. I'm not pinned. And it looks like dropping this word lazy from how you talk about yourself for 1 week. Just 1 week. And replace it with something a little bit more accurate, like frozen or overloaded or depleted. Because the language we use about ourselves matters more than most people realize. If you keep telling yourself you're lazy, your body's going to keep behaving like someone who's told that they're broken. And the deepest thing, the one I want you to take from this, is that freeze is not a failure. Freeze is a sign that your system's been carrying more than it's able to carry. And it's doing the most intelligent thing it knows how to do, which is to slow you down so you don't break. You don't have a motivation problem. You've got a body that needs to be allowed to come back to itself. So, if you want to know where you are on this scale, whether your nervous system has been quietly tipping into freeze, whether the way you've been pushing yourself is part of what's keeping you stuck, I built a quiz that walks you through it. It's free, takes a couple of minutes. The link's in the description. It'll give you a clearer sense of what's going on in that noise. You get a personalized PDF. And the last thing, if you watch this video and you recognize yourself in it, if you've been calling yourself lazy when you're actually frozen, maybe you want to send this to someone that you've been worried about, because there's someone in your life right now who's sitting here at their desk, unable to get started and thinking there's something wrong with them. So that's something kind you can do. If you like these conversations, please subscribe. See you next week.